Hi, everyone. It will be so lovely if you can to put on your cameras at some point, because in my session, we're going to get very interactive. And just to say, if you have some paper and pens there, that would be great, because we are going to be doing some art. Don't worry, we're not going to be doing a masterpiece, but we are going to be doing some drawing, and I'll come to why in a bit. But I just want to address, thank you all for being here today. Thank you for taking the time out to come up today, and thank you for just being patient and with the flow. I'm just going to let people in. There's about 5 people there, so I'm just going to let them in. Bear with me. Just let them in. Fantastic. So, you know what? I spoke to Avni and we had this amazing introduction created to introduce myself. And so now I'm just going to do that myself. So I met Avni in a creativity book club, and then invited her to one of my events, which is a creativity workshop where I use different creative arts to empower people's self-expression. So I use drawing, movement, and improv. And Abby came along. She had a great experience, and then invited me to come along to speak here about one form of the creative arts that she undertook at the event, because it was such a great way to let go, to first of all, to become aware of and let go of the blocks that sometimes stop us from actually starting to get creative, or we might be in the creative process and we get stopped, right? So she invited me to come along and demonstrate that and speak a little bit about that. So here I am, and I'm really honored that she did. And I'm really excited to spend the next 20 minutes with you and go on this journey to see what opens up for you. So a little bit about me. So I've just also checked in, bear with me if there's anyone that comes on. So if my eyes are going all over the place, that's why. So welcome to my session, which is about creating space through the art of letting go. One question I have for you all is, have you ever experienced frustration at not being able to say what you want, or start or finish a creative project, or just be creative? If you can just show by like a raise of hands, or if your camera is not on, maybe put a heart up or something, so I can see that quite a lot of you have experienced that. So, and have you ever, you know what, I have also experienced frustration, disappointment, and resignation, to the point of resignation. And my background, if you've read my bio, I've been in the corporate world. In the last 7-8 years, I stepped into coaching, and now, and what happened was, I went through an experience in my past that connected me to creativity, and the creativity aspect helped me become aware of what was stopping me from the goals that I had in life. So for example, creativity like dance, I saw stopped me from being in a relationship. I was able to see what stopped me from actually connecting to somebody. And when I was doing improvisation theatre, I was able to become aware of a part of me that was always angry and didn't understand why. And it was actually through doing those activities and journaling, creative journaling like drawing and things like that, was I able to become firstly aware of the fact that there were things blocking me, but also I was able to use the creative arts to start to heal to start to help me deal with things in a really safe way. And you can find out more about that in my TEDx talk, which Agni has put the link on the website, and I can share that with you after that. You can find out more about my journey there. But today I wanted to focus more on how you can use one of the techniques, creative journaling, to start to become aware of what are those blocks, what is making us feel frustrated, and what is underneath the resignation. We can actually use drawing and the colors and whatever comes through our subconscious, because it's not, the drawing part is going to be you just putting pen to paper, and it's almost like dumping your mindset, dumping your thoughts, dumping your emotions onto that paper. And we're not going to be using words, or you can if words come up, but we're just going to be doing that. And the reason why it's so powerful is because sometimes a lot of the things that stop us are in our subconscious mind. And when it comes to talking about things, we can kind of cheat ourselves like I do, right? I want to talk about something else because it's safer. But when we draw and when we go deeper into our subconscious, it will come down on paper in terms of symbols, colors, and things like that. And certain words might pop up, and that will tell us, when we reflect on that, it will start to give us some direction in terms of, okay, what might be, what actually might be stopping me. And you might be able to use creative journaling as a way to also create possibility, create an outcome through the drawing. So I want to give you a quick recent example, and then get straight into doing a bit of meditation and give you some time to get some head pen down to paper. So I am currently in the process of a creative project, which is publishing a book that empowers women to travel solo. It's a form of creativity for me. Like, say, some of you might be painting or doing sculptures or other things. It's such a vulnerable share of, for me to produce this manuscript. And it took me 7 years to get to the point to write it, because all those thought processes and fears stopped me from actually starting my creative endeavor. But then when I started, and I started to then go to publishers with my manuscript, I got rejected and rejected and rejected, one after the other. And I tell you, I got so sad, and I saw each rejection as a validation that I wasn't good enough and that my book wasn't good enough. And it stopped me for a week. How many of you can relate to, feeling like sometimes your artwork or your creativity, when if somebody else doesn't see it the way you do, or they don't buy it or something, you take it as a reflection of your actual work. Yeah, thank you, Jerome. And there may be other people here who feel the same. And actually, in the past, that would have just stopped me. I would have gone, I'm not doing this book anymore, no more. This is a validation, it's not good enough. And I wouldn't even want to take the next step, because I would be so afraid of feeling that fear of rejection again, that I wouldn't even start. But this time, what's been different, because I'm still out there finding other ways to get my book published, is I started to dance. I started to actually draw my feelings, and I started to do gospel singing. So I turned to creativity to feel joy. And when I started to feel my joy, I could create space to be with the upset, be with the sadness, accept it, and then go and give myself time to do that. It took me about a week after the first rejection to get back on there, but I didn't stop. I felt the feelings, and then I went, okay, what can I do next? And so where I am right now is I've gone on to crowdfunding to start to look for some funding for my book. That is the power of creativity in letting go of emotions that stop us, embracing emotions, feeling them and letting them go. Because if we don't, they end up blocking us. and that stops our creative flow. So I'm going to start with a quick meditation, and then we're going to get into doing some drawing. So if you could all just close your eyes and relax. Just take a few deep breaths. I'm going to just have my eyes open, checking on time and admitting people. So just close your eyes, take a few moments to take a few deep breaths in and out. In and out. And one more, in and out. And now I want you to imagine this white light coming from the top of your head, from the sky, all the way down. Imagine this white light coming to the top of your head, through your forehead, your eyes, your nose, your cheeks, your mouth, your throat, your shoulders, into your chest, down your arms. And as this white light is spreading, it's carrying all the tension, all the uncertainty, everything down with it, down to your waist, your stomach, your backside, your front side, your legs, knees, calves, down your ankles, your feet, and straight down into the earth, into the bottom, the core of the earth. And as you do that, as you connect to that core of the earth, I want you to imagine these beautiful lights. I see it as like a fiery orange coming right through the earth, all the way up through your feet, up your legs, your backside, your front side, your stomach, your back. And it's like rearing up your arms, your neck, your face, your eyes, your forehead, the top of your head, and up straight into the sky. And I want you to imagine the white light and the orange light pulling you from top to the sky and the bottom to the earth. And as you're being pulled, imagine the lights standing out, taking over your whole body, and then the outside of your body, your whole aura. Imagine just here, you're just held safely in this space, in this light. You're all safe. And there is a cord from your stomach, a golden cord that connects you to everyone on this cord. Imagine it's going through, you may not be able to see everyone, and that's okay. Just imagine in your head, there's all these people on this cord, about 28 of us, and you're just connecting through this golden cord to everyone. And as you're going through that, just take a deep breath in, hold for 5 seconds, and out for 5 seconds. We're going to do this 2 more times. Breathe in for 5. Hold for 5. And out for 5. And the last set. Breathe in for 5. Hold for 5. And out for 5. And as you're in this calm, centered, safe space, I want you to imagine, get present to an intention that you have. Maybe an area that you're blocked in your creativity, in getting started, or in your artistic flow. Maybe there's a block. Maybe your intention is just to see what shows up, but just get present to that. And in a minute, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes. I'm going to try and play some music, and I'm going to ask you to just start drawing, start scribbling, put yourself down to paper and let yourself flow. And I will tell you when to stop. So if you can open your eyes, grab a piece of paper, grab your pen or your colors, and just start to draw. Anything that comes to your mind, just start to draw. Just going to play some music. Hi everyone. We're just coming to the end of that session, and I just wanted to check in and see, take some sharing really. How was that for you? And would anyone like to hold up their drawing just so we can do some reflection together? We've got about 5 minutes, so I'm happy to take a few actually. And what we'll do is we'll just have a look at what you've drawn and what that was like for you. Does anyone like to? Oh, Judith and Rita. Okay, I'm going to go with Anna-Rita first, Judith, if that's okay. Oh, everyone's putting it up. This is great. Look at that. There's some lovely, that looks like tulips, Caroline. It's amazing. Wow, Herschel, you did it like a mirror portrait of yourself. It's fantastic. Love that blue, Ramona. Sneha, I can't see yours clearly. Ooh. Okay, it's very lovely. Wow. Look at those. So does anyone like to come off mute and share what that, wow, look at that, Asmita. Asmita, I think I said your name incorrectly, but sorry. That's like a Mendy pattern there. Would anyone like to come off mute and share maybe what that was like and what came up with them? I would share that having camera problems. That's okay, Preeti. If you want to just share what that experience was like for you, you don't have to put your camera on. And you don't have to either. You don't want to.
I think it was good because you clear your mind through your couple of minutes of just letting, as you said, the light go through, and then whatever you see, you're not thinking about all the other problems.
Fantastic. And what did you was there anything specific that you saw in your drawing? Was there any sort of colors or shapes or something that opened up something for you?
Green, lots of green leaves, etc.
Mm-hmm. And what does that mean something for you? Or
I guess we're trying to plan our garden, so my mind has been trying to think how we're going to do that.
Great. Anything else?
No, but I liked the method of sitting down before you do something, just to let go of everything else so that you can focus on this.
And do you think that's something you could take on doing on a regular basis?
I think so. It doesn't take a lot of time, but it gave me the benefit of, okay, this is time for activity X. Stop everything else and focus.
Great. Fantastic. Thank you, Preeti.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, Pratibha, and then Asmita. I'm going to get your name right in a minute. Pratibha, would you like to share?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So I've done this exercise a few times, and even with the 80-20 artist did it. I think in May, did it for about a week. So sometimes I end up drawing things that I'm thinking about drawing, and then sometimes I actually sort of drew that I was overwhelmed, and actually there were like really big waves around me, and that I was drowning. So
wow. Can you share it?
Yeah. So it started. Oh, you can't really see it. So I didn't know that this was gonna come out.
Is that you on a boat?
Yeah, that's me on a boat.
The waves coming
in. So I didn't know that was going to emerge. So that was really interesting. And then later, I sort of I sort of explored that a little bit more, and just like this sort of. Sometimes I just like to just scribble and then just see how that makes me feel. So that was quite nice because I actually didn't think of that as something that was occurring.
Yeah. And how are you feeling at the end of this?
I feel it's nice that it's out. and that's the nice thing about it, that it's nice that it's out, because I didn't even know that it was there.
Yeah, right. That's the thing. It's all in our subconscious, suppressed in our subconscious. And then when we give ourselves permission to just be playful, be childlike and creative and free, it comes out, and it's such a safe space as well to do it, because it's your canvas and it's your interpretation and your mindset. No one can tell you or anything like that. So that's great. And is there anything that's opened up, any possibility or any action that's opened up? Or it might be too soon right now. It might just be, I'm really enjoying this space.
Yeah, I feel like I love that process of clearing and getting things out. So that's nice, just to give the time for that.
Great. Awesome. Thank you so much for
Thank
sharing.
you.
I'm just going to go to Judith, because and then I'm going to come to Asmita. Judith, would you like to come off mute as well and share your...
Hi. I finished I finished with the draw that I have to do to continue with the series, and I got the idea.
You had a good idea. Do you want to show us? Is it okay to show what you drew?
Okay. I don't know.
Oh, can't really see. I think you might have your black background on blur, so we can't see it.
Yes.
I could see a woman. Wow, I could just about see a beautiful, like, angel woman.
Yes, because I work a series of virgins.
Sorry, say that again.
I drawing a series of virgins. Virgins?
You're drawing a series of virgins, yeah. Okay.
Virgins, yeah.
Beautiful. And so I'm hearing is you drew your next idea. Is that right?
Yes,
okay,
this
great.
is the next idea.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, and Asmita.
Hi, Vaishali. It is Asmita.
This is great.
Yeah, no worries. So I felt I didn't know this exercise before, and for me, I felt like I was doodling first to get my mind in that mindset, and then the shapes, the roundness of the shapes means that about flexibility, loving what I'm doing. And then I started drawing lines, and then it was like a sun, so feeling the happy energy. But then I drew a box, and I've over the years I've realized I draw a lot of boxes, and I feel like sometimes I feel boxed in. So that's kind of my feeling of the fear of not even trying, but the fear of what is going to be next, as opposed to letting go. And then I was thinking about Japan, because I was in Japan in April, and I started thinking about, God, some of those shapes, some of the art, and started trying to replicate kind of like a house, or some of the writing. So that's kind of where I got to.
Wow, a lot in a short space of time.
Yeah.
Can you hold it up again, because the computer sort of wow.
I didn't know we were going to use color, because I didn't have any color pencils or anything like that, but I think it would have changed.
I mean, it's great if you have them, but as you've shown, you don't always need them.
Yeah. That's where I got to. I thought it was a really helpful exercise to really understand what's going on with yourself, but an outlet to bring out some of the feelings, especially the negative feelings that you have.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. Because that's going to get me go to the next bit of my talk, just to summarize that. So thank you for sharing that. So thank you so much for sharing that. I hope you enjoy in a short amount of time this exercise that you can take on doing daily and whenever you want, to remove any blocks, get present to anything that's stopping you, not just in creativity, in artwork, but also in your self-expression. So once you put that down, you can start to see and reflect on what you've drawn in terms of boxes and boxed in, maybe nature, maybe there's a calling to be in nature, anything that it can open up actions for you to take. It can also open up a space for you just to kind of be with emotions and release them. So I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you for your courage to take part in that activity and to share, because it's not always an easy thing, but play and fun, bring a lot of ease to it. Secondly, if you'd like to explore this and maybe how other creative mediums like movement and acting can help to release suppressed emotions and help you be more expressed and connect more to your creativity, then I have an online workshop that's coming up in August, and Abby will share the details of that with you. If any of you are interested in finding out more about the solo travel book as well, Abby will have the details for that and she'll share those with you. I wanted to open out and say, is there any questions that you have about anything that we've gone through today? And it's okay if you don't.
I'm good.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you so much for taking part, and thank you for your time, and thank you for letting me know that you enjoyed the session, Fatima. This is the space that's created for the amazing speakers that are coming next and tomorrow, and such a great space to now take on exploration and possibilities in the sessions that are to come. So thank you so much for your time.